Hello. Now that we have learned how to create primary and subcontact information in NewOrg, we can begin to enter events. Today I'm going to start from our login screen and go ahead and log on to NewOrg. For each new family in your PI program, the first series of events that you will enter are usually personal contact, screening for eligibility, and child enrollment. Of course, if you have been seeing the family prenatally, or possibly at a group encounter, you would see these events prior to enrollment. Now I am going to go to my contacts view, and today we'll be working in the Gordon family. So I'm going to go ahead and select them. And here you will see Julie Gordon as a primary contact and Tanner Gordon as a subcontact. As I work through this initial series of events, you may notice I am choosing different ways to create the event. Within NewOrg, you have probably noticed by now that there are several ways to enter the same data. Feel free to choose whichever way works best for you. For the first event that I'm going to enter, I'm going to choose Personal Contact. In this event, you can see another browser will open, still in my contact view there, and here's my new browser for my event. Personal contact would be the first time that you came into contact with this family. So I have Julie chosen. She's my primary contact. You can see my event over here, and you can populate it anyway. If it was by a phone call, the division is home visiting, PI program, and maybe where you met the contact. Then you can hit save and close, and your event is created. And now if you wanted to see this event, you can take a look at it on your events tab here, and you should see your personal contact. Okay, I'll go back to my contact view for our next event. The next event in the series is screening for eligibility. For this one, I'm going to begin the event in a different way, just again to show you the different ways events can be created within NewOrg. So for a screening for eligibility, we know that the primary contact on this event should be the child. So I'm going to go ahead and create the event from the child. To do this, I'll click on the little calendar icon right down here, which is by the subcontact or Tanner Gordon. When I click that, you'll see my browser open into the event screen, and I will begin. I will choose screening for eligibility, and you can see because I started the event at Tanner, Tanner is already there under the contact line. I can choose home visiting prevention initiative. When I initially hit save, it will open the event further, which will allow you to attach any forms to the event that are necessary, and a few other fields will populate. Here I'm going to go ahead and hit complete and closed. And if I wanted to create a screening for eligibility, I would do this by clicking here. You'll see that a browser opens for you to create this, and if you were to hit save, you would have your screening for eligibility. I'll just go ahead for testing purposes, fill in one field, and hit save. And then to get out of the event screen, save and close. This will take you back to your contact view. And if you wanted to check on your event to be sure that it was there, you could look under the Events tab and you will now see a screening for eligibility. And I went a little too far there. I'm going to go back into the Gordon family for our third event, which is child enrollment. For this one, I'm going to click on New Event from the Contacts tab, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Child Enrollment. And when I hit New Event here, the browser opens again to your event, you will see that it is already selected as a child enrollment, but we know that the child should be the primary on a child enrollment event, so I'm going to go ahead and update that to Tanner. If you had the if this was not the correct date, you could backdate it here. Go ahead and hit complete and close. Select my divisions. When I initially hit save, you can see that the event has now saved. If I can X out here or hit save and close here. And if you wanted to check your event to be sure that it was under their contact, you can see my 3 events. Now, as a reminder, for each family that is in your PI program, the first events you will typically see will be a personal contact, which is when you met the family or how you came into contact with the family, a screening for eligibility, and then a child enrollment to enroll the family. It's not uncommon for these 3 events to happen on the same day. And one last thing that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention, when doing events in NewOrg, if you choose to schedule your events or create your events from the Events tab, you might do that here by adding or by clicking on a time. When you're creating, whoops, let me pick an event here. I'll just pick a personal encounter. If you are adding an event from here, you can see that the browser will open your event screen, but your contact is not automatically populated. When creating events from the Events tab like this, it is important that you connect the family to the appropriate contact. And sometimes there can be a duplicate contact entered in the system, so I recommend entering events from the Contacts tab. But here I've chosen Julie now, she's attached, and I can hit save and close. And we went through the series of beginning events, but now you would be ready to schedule any home visits, personal encounters, and here's your list of events you can choose from. And they all work the same way in NewOrg. And that is it for events. Thank you.